Hey everyone, thanks for checking out today's broadcast. My name is Jonathan, and today is day 361 of my 3 year challenge to lose 300 pounds. Only 4 days away from 1 year. It's crazy. If this is your first time checking out my broadcast, a little bit about me and the channel. I'm 39 years old and I'm married. We have 4 children together, and I've been overweight my whole life. And last year, it just got to a point where I really needed to do something about my weight. And I started to create this challenge, with two big goals in mind with the challenge. The biggest goals being that I want to lose a huge amount of weight. A lot of times in the past, I've set goals to lose 20 pounds or 50 pounds or get under 300 pounds. And while those are great things to have happen, many times I would reach those goals and then kind of feel like I had made it there. I had done what had set out to do, or the event that I was losing the weight for happens. And then I find reasons to let my diet slip. And then slowly things almost always get worse than what they were previously. And so I knew that I needed to commit to losing enough weight that I get down to what would be a really healthy weight for me in consideration. And so that's why I set out to lose 300 pounds. The other big part of this challenge is that I knew that I needed to set a goal for time. So many of the previous diets that I had been on, I focused so much on the weight and so much on reaching that goal weight or those goals that I never considered, the how that I was going to have to figure out something for the long term, or not just something that's going to help me lose the weight. And so that's why I want, or I decided to challenge myself to do this for 3 years, because no matter how I found to lose the weight, I knew that I was going to need to lose that weight and maintain it and change my lifestyle. And things haven't exactly gone the way I planned when I started this, but I feel like I found the plan that's going to work best for me. Carrie's checking in saying hello. Hello, Carrie. I hope your day is going well. I hope the kids got home from school all right. The um So far on my challenge, like I said, I'm only 4 days away from the 1 year mark. I've lost over 200 pounds so far, and really, um, I'm really excited about the next half of my challenge. I really feel like I'm halfway through. I am 1/3 of the way through the time. I'm 2/3 of the way through the weight loss. So I really feel like I'm kind of at like a halfway point with everything. So, I'm excited about what I'll be able to do in the upcoming years. If anybody has any non-scale victories they want to share, I'd love to hear your non-scale victories. Anybody has any um, questions, comments, anything they want to add, please feel free to add them now. If you guys haven't already subscribed to my channel, make sure that you do get subscribed to my channel. Uh, Click on that bell icon so you can turn on notifications. You'll get alerted when I go live, which is generally 4 p.m. on weekdays. Uh, the For me, I guess I had kind of a weird non-scale victory, and it's hard to uh explain exactly, I think, but this morning we were getting ready and we had a whole bunch of things go on, but and I'll go over that here in a minute, but I was sitting in a position this morning at the top of my steps where, like, I was sitting with my butt on the floor of the main floor of my house and my feet kind of on the steps below me, kind of leaned over with my arms on my elbows, or my elbows on my knees, just sitting there kind of interacting with Carrie, who was downstairs. And I realized that I was sitting in a spot where uh, I don't think I'd ever sat before. And I've done this a couple times. At work, I had the other day sat like on our front counter desk at our office. And like as I sat up on the counter, I kind of realized that I never had done that before and I wouldn't have done it before, but it felt so natural or comfortable to do. And so that was kind of the way I felt sitting on top of the steps, is just that I was kind of in a position that I never like I know I've sat in that position before when I wasn't so heavy, as a kid or younger, but just to be sitting leaned forward, like without having all of my stomach being in the way, forcing me to be leaned back, like just like I guess even like in the chair, like sitting like that, just like lean forward with my elbows on my knees. uh, I wouldn't have really been able to do that. I didn't even realize I wasn't doing that until now that I can do that. And that whole experience, like doing that, and it just got me thinking about how overweight I was and just the health I was in. And I just was sitting there just thinking about like I could absolutely have died in the last 361 days. There's I mean, it could have happened. Like there's a plethora of, there's a, heart attack, stroke, whatever, you name it. Um, I was on track for all those things. And I like talk about it a little bit, but I had these sores on my calf that were like really bad for health. Like they were, um, I think a lot of times diabetics get them, but, um, Chris says my skin is glowing. The lifestyle is paying off. Thanks, Chris. Absolutely. Thank you. But I had like these sores on my leg that I actually took a photo of my leg the other day because there's like scarring around my calf or around it's on my shin, but it's all the way around my ankle, I guess, that there's some scarring. Um, that's just not normal. It's not supposed to happen to people. And it was happening to me. And Carrie gives me a hard time because I always kind of say, well, I've never had bad blood work. And I really haven't ever had bad blood work. But I did blood work once 6 months ago. And then prior to that, I hadn't done blood work in like 8 years. So, uh, yeah, of course. But the last time I had blood work, I was probably about the same weight as I am now. Anthony's checking in saying hello. Hi, Anthony. I hope everything's going great with you today. And so just sitting there and thinking about how much different of a spot I'm in. And uh the I think about like the chest pains I kind of used to have. That and every now and then it would just be something where I would have something like on my sternum, a pain, and I always kind of was like, it's probably just a muscle thing. I'm overweight. I strain myself just doing anything, picking myself out of bed. I could have strained that chest muscle, getting, walking up the steps, pulling on the railing. I could have strained that muscle. Um, but I don't know. I haven't had that kind of pain in months, and it's really kind of freaky to think that like I was blowing that off like it was something, and something it wasn't, or maybe it was. Who knows what it was? I don't know, but I don't have that kind of pains now, and I'm doing a lot more activity kind of stuff. Like I said, I'm not pulling around 520 pounds, but uh, those things, like I was just one heartbeat literally away from a heart attack, I think, and I don't really um it's so hard to grasp and to kind of like it's hard to grasp that I was at that awful of a point because I was in such denial at the time. And then it's hard to grasp that I've reached it to this point now because of where I was. Like I talked about a little bit with doing that ceiling fan, is like I think I avoid doing some things just because I think that they're going to be really labor intensive, or they're going to take it out of me, or it's going to be the only thing I'm going to be able to do that day. And in reality, that would have been the case if I was still 520 pounds, but I'm not 520 pounds anymore. And so there's all kinds of just, like I said, when I was sitting there just in my head, we have had a lot of other things going on as well, as far as stress, outside of weight loss going on overnight. But that was just kind of my long drawn out non-scale victory I was going to talk about. So, um, just yeah, the since yesterday, our food, we had a new dinner last night. It was some sort of, have you talked to a doctor about your chest pain? No, well, I haven't had chest pain in months now, but I never did at the time. Like when I was having those kind of chest pains, the uh like I said, at the time, it would have been a year ago, 2 years ago, it could have been, you know multiple times throughout the past years, where I've kind of been like, oh, it kind of hurts, uh and then December 2019, I had real bad respiratory issues. But um the uh no, I avoid doctors. That's what I do. I mean, that's what I've done. That's what everybody does, right? That's when you go get heavy, you just like, well, I'm just going to go to the doctor, and they're going to say, well, yeah, of course you're having chest pains, you're overweight. And I already know I'm overweight, and that's what everybody does. And even with this, I didn't go to a doctor till I'd already lost over 100 pounds. But, uh, and I probably go see a doctor early next year. I think with the insurance, we get like one visit a year, and I already did one this year, but I'm not sure how that all works. Let's see. I was talking about food. Dinner last night. New dinner. It was some sort of squash soup. It was very yellow and very soupy, like a tomato soup consistency, probably a little grittier than a tomato soup. The soup flavor was really good. I liked it. Very sweet. Um, I'm not sure all of the ingredients, but I'm pretty sure Carrie told me that I got my daily serving of turmeric, if I'm right. She probably has that recipe that she can share on her Discord, on our Discord, and the link for that's down below if you wanted to see that. But the soup, it was good, sweet. It needed more texture, like just having, that solid consistent, that porridgey consistency, or a watery grits kind of consistency, is not my favorite. Carrie says turmeric was the right thing. The If it had like chunks of like sweet potato in it, and what I ended up doing, it didn't um necessarily improve the flavor a ton, but I took some of the mega veggie chili we had and mixed it with it a little bit. And I like the texture. I felt like it improved the texture, but the sweetness of the spaghetti squash and the really spiciness of the mega veggie chili didn't go well. So maybe if you didn't have the spice from the mega veggie chili, uh and then just had that in with the spaghetti squash, that might be a good mix. But if also, if you make course meals, like multiple course meals, that would be a good soup, I guess, to have with like toast before you have a meal. We don't generally eat multi-course meals, with the exception of yesterday. I talked about how I just happen to eat that. Most of the time, our meals are one pot kind of mixing bowl meals, and it goes over pretty well for us. The dinner was great. I did feel a little snacky in the evening last night. The I think it was a lot because, like, I give myself that 7 p.m. cutoff, and uh, I kind of like to maybe hit the cupboard at like 6:55 and grab a couple snacks, like right before that 7 p.m. cutoff. And last night we just didn't have any good snacks in the house. All the cashews were gone. Uh, you know, we we didn't have any of the snacks I was wanting to go for. We had snacks. I had some oranges. I had a banana. I don't think I ate an apple in the evening. Or late. But anyways, I didn't have the snacks I wanted to have at 7, so I think that it kind of made me a little bit distracted or want for snacks later in the evening. But I was dealing with the kids by myself for a bit. I'm trying to think of why. Oh, I don't remember why. But Carrie had to go shopping, and actually she was. Oh, she had an event for our nonprofit that she had some volunteers coming to help out with that. So she was in town for that. I was watching the kids, and then she actually bought snack food, but wasn't getting home until like at 8:30. And I did have a Lara bar. I'm not gonna lie, it was after my 7 o'clock deadline, but um, that's just what I did. The so Carrie gets home after her thing and does the groceries, putting the groceries away, and she goes to the sink to clean up some dishes, and we had no water. Uh, we are on our own well, and so that immediately sucks because no matter what the problem is, it's only my problem, or it's only our problem, and it's only going to cost us money to fix it. Like if I was on city water and the faucet didn't turn on, then maybe a main was down the line or something at the road went out. Uh, but when you're on a well and you don't have water, then it's going to cost me money is really what it came down to. But or not only it was going to cost me money, but it was going to be something that we had to deal with. We did a couple of the quick kind of Google, turn the breaker on and off, check to see that this is switching on, a couple different things. Nothing fixed the problem. Thankfully, the kids were already asleep. Unfortunately, we were still awake, so going to the bathroom was a little bit more difficult, and dealing with not having any running water sucked. But we went to bed. We do have a water purifier, that like a jug that's in the fridge, so we did have some water to drink when we got up in the morning. And then I ended up going, my parents don't live too far from me. I grabbed a jug, an empty jug, ran out to their house and grabbed a jug of water, contacted a plumbing or water company. Guy came out this morning, and he did a quick fix on our system so that the water is running. He's telling me that uh, I need to spend some money to do a bigger repair, which sucks. But as long as it's running right now, I'm happy, you know. And if the quick fix only costs a little bit of money, I could do that a lot of times before I need to bust out the money to have somebody rerun electrical wires from underground under my driveway, which is the biggest part. I'd have to have a boring company come out and bore a hole and run lines. Crazy amount of work. Not wanting to do that. So, but really kind of added a stupid amount of stress to this morning. Fortunately, like I said, I was able to go get some water, and we were kind of able to have our regular breakfast. As far as me and Carrie, we had our oatmeal. The kids, our older kids, they go to public school, and at our public school, they do offer free breakfast and free lunch. So we told the kids they could get the breakfast and lunch today. We don't generally have them get the school lunch. I think they get the school breakfast some mornings when they feel like it, but they ended up getting school lunch today. I don't know if they liked it or not. Carrie will have to ask. Carrie said, that'd be too fancy for us. I imagine that's paying for the repair. I'm not sure. I didn't see when you wrote that. And then that you were hungry last night too. Yeah. Like I said, I think it was that we just didn't have snacks around earlier in the afternoon. And for me, at least, was that we didn't have snacks around earlier in the afternoon. And now that we have some, it'll be a little bit easier today, I hope. Uh, the so that was really, and yeah, I mean, I didn't end up eating a whole lot overall then because of that. Uh, had the stress of dealing with that and kind of screwed up my morning. Which it was kind of a weird, like it worked out. I had that interview scheduled this morning for uh, talking about eating a plant-based diet, and the interviewer contacted me this morning that they actually got sick last night and were unable to work today, and that they'd have to postpone the interview, which ends up kind of working out in the end. Like I had all that crap going on with the water not working. So I was running late anyways. And I would have been pushing it to get to, I don't know that I probably got into work after that interview would have started anyways. But uh, yeah. I, so it just worked out that um, that person that was doing the interview had to cancel on me anyways. So I didn't have to stress so much about getting in to do the interview because at where we live, we don't have very good internet. So doing any type of Zoom stuff is kind of tough. And it's not very not a great environment for it. Let's see here if I have anything else. Food. Um yeah, I don't really have a whole lot more to go over today. It is a Wednesday. I'm not doing a weigh-in Wednesday because I'm going to be weighing in on Monday, November 1st. That'll be my official 1 year weigh-in. I also have yet to order a new scale. I keep talking about it and thinking about it uh, when I'm not in a position to look into and order a scale. But if anybody has any recommendations for a scale, I'd love to hear those. Um, just because I just the scale I have doesn't seem to be very reliable. It's um, but let's see. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get out of here today. The tomorrow I will be live. Friday I'll be live. Just kind of update with how things are going. Hopefully we don't have any more issues with the well water or the water itself. I was hoping to get these guys to give me a quote for replacing our water heater, but they don't do that work. It's kind of weird. Um, so that's gonna be, anyways, just going on about dumb stuff. Thanks, guys, for checking out my broadcast. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you do get subscribed. Click on the bell icon so you get notified when I go live. Make sure you like this video. Share it if you want. Spread the word. Let people know I exist. The Yeah, there's Discord down below if you want to join our Discord. That link should be active for a week. And then there's also a link to Carrie's Pinterest board where she posts a lot of the recipes and the meals that we've tried and liked on our whole food plant-based SOS free diet. Anthony says, take care and have a good day. You too, Anthony. Thanks for checking out the broadcast, and I hope you have a great evening. Um, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. If you haven't started your diet yet, get started right now. There's no reason to wait. There's nothing coming up that's more important than taking care of your health. Um, there's, you know, there's all kinds of people that have made the change that they've needed to change, and they've gotten to their goal weights and they've maintained their goal weights. And every time I see an interview with them, they always say they wish they would have started sooner. So there's never a point where it's too soon to start. So don't let that event this weekend keep you from getting started right now. Next year, when it comes up, or 2 weeks when you have another event come up, you're going to have to find a way to do that event without eating the crap that you've been eating. So, get started right now, guys. It's worth it. I can absolutely attest to getting started right now being worth it. So, you guys all have a great day.